I believe in Taylor. Taylor will come.
I would open my window. It's kind of warm in here, but David said I got some sun. Did I get some? It's hard to tell. I got no light. Maybe if I make this window bigger.
Now you're blue. You're a Smurf.
What up, everybody? It's the pre-show.
That's not the type of tan you want, Gomer, from the glow of the screen.
Right. This is the part of the show where we talk about what we're going to do on the show. I'm going to smoke a cigarette and drink some scotch.
Scotch. I like scotch.
But yeah, got a lot of work done outside in the yard and stuff. Got an April Fool's joke. We'll talk Mando probably, a little bit of Star Trek. Oh, there's Taylor. I'm just very excited that we have such good things to watch. I'm sure either one or both of you went to see a highly anticipated movie this weekend. I'm sure we'll talk about that. Hopefully.
I actually didn't know.
Oh, wow.
I didn't. I was going to go.
No one saw D&D this weekend?
In true D&D player fashion, I had scheduling problems.
Son of a bitch.
I went to Mule Day yesterday, and then I went
fun.
to actually play D&D today. So I'm gonna have to wait till next weekend to see it.
That's fun.
I can probably go see it tomorrow. And I know I'll have.
Well, that doesn't help us this episode, so we'll not talk about the D&D movie. Yeah, pre-show. Hey, Andy, thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it. Jeff too. Jeff, he's becoming a regular too now. Appreciate it, Jeff. It's weird. There's actually stuff on TV tonight. I think there's basketball games. Maybe it might.
Yeah. Well, the LSU Tigers won the women's national championship today.
In weird fashion, from what I saw at the end, some refs calling some shit. But hey, whatever.
Well, they ended up winning by like 20 points. So I don't know if I don't know if ref shenanigans account for that much.
Thank you. We'll talk about a new Hickman project. We'll touch on the new Blade series just a bit. Bunch of Fall of X shit from MegaCon. And then Batman and Robin was announced. A double dose of food news. One of the most disgusting we've ever had, thanks to David. Thank you, David.
God damn it,
You're
David.
welcome.
And then a bunch of comic book reviews. Pretty solid week for reviews. I don't have a single Marvel or DC book in my top 3, though.
The hell?
I know. Anything else you guys want to add? Not D&D, because none of us went to see the damn thing.
The BattleTech Kickstarter started last.
You can talk about that in you can talk about
what
that.
We did last week.
Yeah, segment 1, dude. Have
Segment
you
one.
ever even seen this show? I have. Let's do it. One of my favorites.
You know that awkward silence makes me think David has never seen this show.
It certainly does suck.
That's about all you need to know about it, I guess.
Exactly. It's terrible. It is bad. Oh, yeah. Really excited about segment 1. It might be the best segment they do. Greetings, Geek.
Segment 1. Segment 2.
back.
Segment 1. Segment 2.
Another episode of this Geek and Comics outrageous comic book shit talk show.
Shit talk show.
Homer Taylor, aka David, here kicking it. Segment 1, what did we do this week? I harvested some bamboo, did some more stuff out in the yard, tended to the very tiny garden that we have right now. While we're
Well, that'll be a good way to feed your illegal panda collection.
yeah, my illegal panda collection. Actually, I'm planning on building some trellises, maybe some tomato cages, and stuff with them. I read an article today how to build an entire wall, and I could build like a whole 3-foot wall, if I wanted to. Just with the panda I got here, just for example, this is still just one patch that I've got.
Well, there goes your privacy fence.
No, that's it. Well, no, dude, this shit grows so fast. Here, I'll show you this picture. That's the leftover leaves. That's going in my compost pit as soon as I get it built up next week, my compost bin. But this is where I cut. You can see there's a few little cuts there. These will be, they can grow up to an inch a day, depending on rain and stuff like that. The soil is really wet there right now because I've had mulch down. I'm planning on pulling all that mulch out too as soon as I get my compost pit going. But yeah, that's basically what I did, this weekend all week. We did have April Fools. This was my favorite. The G.I. Joe classified USS flag, 91 feet long, 6-inch scale. Yeah. $3,500. There's people who'd buy that. Sorry.
$3,500 is kind of a steal for such a large recreation there.
Right.
He would have a bigger navy than some nations.
Yeah, than most nations. But
Bo-Katan.
nobody watched D&D, so Mando was dope. Mando is just moving in all of the right directions. There's real progress happening on there, and it just feels so fun to have so much fun with Star Wars right now, dude. It's like no one can gripe about this shit.
Yeah, this episode was a lot of fun. It was really cool seeing like not just a single Mandalorian or even a duo of Mandalorians like we have recently, but yeah, a whole platoon of them.
And going like to the defense, and doing because Grief or whatever, Carl Weathers, character, he kind of was, one dude brought it up. This dude was murdering my pals, but Jin's right. Let's get out here. Let's go do it. Yeah, it was a whole lot of fun, dude.
Well, it's cool to see, like, community being built and all that. But the New Republic needs to seriously re-question its let's take him in alive for questioning policy there.
I am starting to think that maybe the First Order was right to blow up the New Republic capital.
Dude, what we're watching is the First Order forming, I assume.
Yeah, from within, like, the blight that grows on any government. You know what I mean? It really is cyclical. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure there's somebody working, to make all this happen, just like Star Wars has always been, which leads right into the Emperor, which is what they're basically building up to in the Bad Batch and in other things. It's amazing.
See, what I don't get is like you got this guy in the Bad Batch, Hemlock, the villain. This is like the villain that the Bad Batch needs.
Yeah.
And he's been like introduced in like the last couple episodes before the end of the season. And I think he's the reason why we get the Clone Emperor and Snoke. I don't think this little guy that they killed in that Coruscant episode has anything to do with that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really
crazy.
Deep stuff, dude. It's really fun storytelling.
Did anybody else notice Zeb from Rebels?
Yes. In Mando? Yes.
In Mando.
Talking with, what's his name?
Steve Bloom.
Yeah.
Was the voice. Reprised the character. It was great.
Yeah. Very
Live
well
action
done.
Zeb.
In a show that isn't really able to give you a lot of fan service, they always figure out a way to do it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I mean, Bo-Katan has been up here the whole time, and I would argue that her very existence in the show is a form of fan service.
But I mean, she's had a big part, though. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, here's a little cameo of a guy that everyone who's a big fan is going to recognize. I doubt we see him again.
That's a fair point, but I'm just saying, like,
no, you're right. Yeah,
this show definitely is like harvesting from the garden that like the old Cartoon Network shows planted.
Well, I've heard tell that if Dave Filoni is involved with the project, he is going to try to bring in as many Easter eggs from his previous projects as possible.
And he should. He very well should. That's the heart of the universe. You know what I mean? Let's not just make a cool, compelling character and then leave him to the wayside once the thing's done. That's why there's a ongoing, persistent universe. It's cool.
No, they absolutely should be doing these things. They absolutely should be including all these different characters and elements and nods. And yeah, it's great. They should keep doing it.
I'd be dumb if I didn't bring up Picard again. How fucking lucky are we to have such good Star Trek and such good Star Wars at the same fucking time?
Yeah.
They've even added more. There's going to be a Starfleet Academy show added for sometime next year, maybe the year after. So yeah, we've never had more good Star Trek content than we do right now. And it's weird. No movies. They're not doing movies. Which
Star Trek has always worked better as a TV show than it has as movies.
Agreed.
So,
although some of those original series movies are some of my favorites.
Oh, sure. I mean, all the even number movies hold up pretty well.
Even the odd ones are.
They're not terrible, but
I adore them.
You can definitely see like the peaks and valleys, though.
Yeah. But Tuvok, Tim Russ, one of my favorite characters from Voyager. It did make an appearance. That's a big spoiler. It's been almost a week. Get over it. But that's not all the spoiler.
Tuvok.
Yeah, Tuvok. That's not all the spoiler.
I am glad to see that this season, which has basically just been the "Hey, you like TNG? Here you go," it's also working in some nods to the other series fans. Like there's some
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine references. There's some I guess
the villains the whole season are Deep Space Nine references.
It's true.
I know,
That's
but
true.
I was just gonna say though that Deep Space Nine is basically just the same well as TNG, but Voyager is always the one that kind of gets the odd man out treatment, and it's cool to see them pulling from that as well.
Yeah, and with 7 of 9 being such an integral part of everything, Jerry Ryan's character, it really does mean so much when they do pull in the Voyager shit. You know what I mean? Because that's my favorite Trek, dude. I know it's not the best Trek. I know it's not an original. I know it's not a TN, but it's my favorite, and I think a lot of fans are like that. So, again, what did you guys do this week? Anything worth? I know I took a lot of it, but man, there was so much to talk about.
I went to Mule Day, which was I've never been before. It was fun.
Now, what is Mule Day?
It's something they do down in Columbia, which was I spent about 3 hours on the road there and back again to go to this thing. I have a couple of friends who live down there, and so we're gonna go enjoy the local charm. And
I'm pretty sure it does have its roots in slavery. I'm pretty sure, but I think they've kind of moved away
in the
from
sense that
in a way.
agriculture is so deeply
Maybe.
entwined with slavery. I don't know if it's anything more than that.
I really think that the Mule Day thing actually alluded to an actual slave market, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well,
about
then
that.
don't throw that out there if you're not 100% sure on that.
I think that no. I know 100%.
David, we need some research on this.
Dave, research Mule Day. The roots of fucking Mule Day in Columbia, Tennessee. But I'm pretty sure they made a statement and said, we're moved away from that now. We're just celebrating people and having a good time, and
there's mostly an opportunity for local businesses have parade floats and shit.
Exactly.
Okay, here's what I got.
Mule Day.
Okay. Mule Day has been a popular Columbia tradition since the 1840s. It began as Breeders' Day, a single-day livestock show and mule market event held on the first Monday of April.
Good.
Over time, it evolved into Mule Day.
Nice.
So this has to do
so it is
primarily with
slavery.
husbandry.
So I was just completely wrong, 100% wrong. First time ever on this show. By the way.
Something else you were wrong about, but at any rate, though, and then I played D&D this.
Yeah, I mean, what do they have at Mule Day? I'm sure there's animals.
Oh, mules and horses.
There's
it's kind of just what it says on the tin. There's a bunch of people riding horses and riding mules or pulling covered wagons.
That's fun, dude.
It's something I'm glad I went to go see, but it's definitely not a every year go to see it type of thing.
So is it like a farmer's market too, where they're selling?
Yeah, they have
they
set up some stage concerts and
some bluegrass and stuff.
Yeah, things like that. All the local restaurants try to pull you in and everything. Went to a hot chicken place after it was done.
Of course. Cool. That sounds like fun. And he played D&D instead of going to see D&D. Usually it's the opposite. Hey man, I'm sorry, I can't go play. I'm going to a movie.
Well, I'm gonna go see it with my D&D group, and again, as is perfectly really on brand. They were busy yesterday.
I got into a little bit of a discussion online that this movie would not beat John Wick. It did beat John Wick, #1 movie in the country.
Apparently, it's been a rave success. It's really winning over critics, and it's been a financial success. So,
I think
it's wiping the bad taste out of the mouth of that previous D&D movie.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. I think it's going to go even bigger next week and the week after. Its only competition next week is the Super Mario Brothers movie, and it's getting panned. Everybody is saying it's dog shit, that all it is a nostalgic rush for a series that still has games being made. You know what I mean? They're still building this lore.
Well, I'll go see that too, but next weekend's definitely D&D for me.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I ain't going to a theater to see Super Mario Brothers. I'll watch it in the background. But if I did want to go to a movie theater, I would go see D&D. I just don't like going to the movie theater. Dave, did you do anything worth talking about? You said something about a Kickstarter.
The BattleTech Kickstarter for the Mercenaries box set dropped on Tuesday, I believe.
Nice.
No, not Tuesday. It dropped on.
It shipped or opened.
It began taking pledges.
Nice.
Not on Tuesday, Thursday. And within the first couple hours, it had almost $3 million.
Now, for those listening, what exactly is this?
BattleTech is a tabletop war game.
It's like Warhammer, but with
it's
BattleTech.
It's like Warhammer, but it's instead of the troops and stuff you fight with big mechs on a.
Dope. It's so cool.
That still sounds like Warhammer to me, but whatever.
I played an RPG back in the day, dude. It was fucking fantastic. One of the best I had ever played when I was young. One of the best. It was so much fun. Maybe it was just the group I was with, but man, we had such a great time with BattleTech, dude.
Yeah, they actually have an RPG still.
Yeah. It's up to current rules too. I mean, they are. Yeah, it's still going. Awesome. Well, let's do news. Bamboo, Mule Day, and BattleTech's all you're getting this week. All right. Jonathan Hickman is doing a lot, okay? Him and Valerio Schiti conceive a brand new design for the Marvel Universe in G.O.D.S. Now it's G.O.D.
Okay, I recognize the stinger there. That's the same. So this is that thing that he's doing. That's the Marvel equivalent of the Endless, right?
Yes. Yeah, he's like doing a weird Jonathan Hickman thing with this. Okay. First teased at blah 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 Comic-Con. Here it comes. Oh, it's going to be the most brilliant thing, best thing ever. Launching fall 2023. Here's the meat on the bone, though. Okay, I'll go through some of these images. Meet Win. That's not Win. That's Doctor Strange. This is Win. Okay, this guy, I guess. A mysterious player in a war that exists outside of the orders we know, and a vital member of an eons-old hierarchy that includes the omnipotent rulers of the universe, such as Eternity, Infinity, and the Living Tribunal. Man, this is going. Oh man, this is going way out there, bro.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like a very Jonathan Hickman premise. You know, this is like the type of like big esoteric like concepts made flesh type of shit that he likes to play around with.
Yeah. So after a fateful meeting with Doctor Strange, Wynn hints at something even bigger than the forces of good and evil, where the very building blocks of creation, scheme, and clash. It's the beginning of not heartbreaking, breathtaking epic at the crossroads of science and magic, one that will shatter your understanding and open our eyes to ideas beyond all that we perceive. Man, this sounds like some Kirby shit, man. This sounds like it's way out there.
Yeah, I mean, this sounds like some like New Gods type of.
Yeah, it sounds like that's what I was thinking. New Gods level stuff.
Yeah. So there's going to be a little bit in here for the free comic book day Avengers X-Men #1. But they'll have more on this book in the coming months. Chicago next week, C2E2, right?
Yeah. I believe that's the next big comic convention coming up.
Just to clarify again, what was this guy's name, the guy we're looking at here?
Wyn. W-Y-N. Wyn.
Okay.
I've never met him. He's a new guy. He's brand new. Yeah, so that's G.O.D.S. We'll definitely have more on that. I mean, Hickman's my favorite. There's no way I'm not reading that, not picking that up.
Oh, I mean, yeah, this is a...
it's a must get.
This is a compulse buy here. Yeah?
It'll be $8 for the first issue. Okay, moving on. Blade is getting a new book. Pretty good team here. Brian Hill, love him. But Elena Casagrande, that's the only reason I'm really bringing this up, because Elena Casagrande is doing a fucking Blade book.
Oh, man, I'm already just picturing like all the giant splash page decapitation things.
Oh, my goodness. She does action sequences like nobody's business. She's one of the best in the business. Her work on Black Widow was so damn good. I mean, it's the reason I kept going back to the book. It's just such a fun, imaginative way to draw this shit. But Blade does not appear to be the sheriff of Vampire Town anymore, or whatever the fuck it was. Which seems like a really poor missed opportunity. Now I understand.
It seems like they didn't do much with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I understand. What's his name on Avengers right now? Jason Aaron. He's moving off the book. All the toys are going back in the box. Sometimes you don't have to put all the toys back in the box. Sometimes you can keep a toy out and Blade leaving the Avengers to becoming full-time sheriff of Vampire Town. That would be such a good story. Man, come on, Marvel. You know you can go back to that. Please go back to that. I mean, get rid of it. Don't get rid of Vampire Town. It's such a cool idea.
Well, irregardless, though, that Casa Grande artwork, I'm just picturing like Black Widow, but like gorier. That's going to be quite a sight to behold, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole lot of fun. It's your basic Blade book. A dark ancient power has been simmering quietly for centuries. Blade unknowingly unleashes it, and then all the supernatural underworld will come out of hiding to demand he handle it, So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm excited for it, but I think there's an opportunity there. All right, here's the big news. 2 big news. Fall of X. All kinds of Fall of X news, okay? This was announced last month at the 60 Uncanny live virtual event. So there's going to be a shit ton of books on this, okay? First we have this, which is sort of showing back to all of the mutants. Remember that epic cover, all the mutants?
Yep.
So this kind of looks a little bit like that. As yet another one of Xavier's dreams falls away, but it was confirmed that we are getting an Uncanny X-Men. Gary Duggan, Javier Garron. Going to be a great looking book. Cap, Rogue, Deadpool, Quicksilver, Psylocke, and Penance. I'm kind of on the fence with that team. I love Penance. Cap, of course, has to be there. But this is the hook for me. This new team must solve the mystery of who the new murderous Captain Krakoa is, and stop this army of killers.
Ah, okay. Yeah, they featured Catherine Krakoa on the preview pages for this. So yeah, okay, that's an interesting premise.
Yeah, I think it was on a variant cover for it. But yeah, Captain, or maybe he's on the cover of the new Comic Book Day issue. Either way, you're right. We knew he was going to be part of it. We weren't sure why. So evidently, it's not Cyclops anymore like it was. But
I guess not.
It's going to be of evil Captain Krakoa doing all kinds of evil shit.
Who did you say the writer was?
Gary Duggan.
Okay, so yeah, that makes me excited for the book quite a lot then, yeah.
Yeah, and Javier Garron.
It best not be a Captain America clone from Krakoa with somebody else's mind in it.
That would be awesome, because they already have his DNA on file and his brain thing, because they've already fucking resurrected his American ass once.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That's exactly what we need, another Weapon X clone. Or Project X, I guess.
Yeah, as far as the lineup goes, like I think you're right that Cap and Rogue are givens. Quicksilver's a good pull, I think, because he has mutant ties and Avenger ties.
Yeah.
So, although he's technically not a mutant anymore because they pulled that bullshit a few years ago.
Oh yeah, no, he's not. All right, moving on. We're gonna get a Shadow Cat series. She's been known as Kitty, Sprite, Ariel, Red Queen, and Captain Kate. Now as the X-Men find their way through their darkest hour, Shadow Cat emerges.
This is like a throwback to Age of Apocalypse, Kitty.
It is. It is. Harkening back to the character's ninja training, see the character's radical transformation in a new design sheet by Peach Momoko. There's the design sheet for the character. Nice look on what's his name there?
Lockheed.
Lockheed. Yeah, Lockheed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the design. Peach Momoko, of course, knows what she's doing there. I'm gonna miss the Red Queen era of Kitty Pryde. That's been a lot of fun.
Captain Kate was dope, dude. Yeah.
So I'll miss that when it's gone, but this looks like it'll be pretty fun too, though.
Yeah. So this is actually going to be revealed in X-Men by also Gary Duggan. Shadowcat, I guess, is going to become a member of that team. I don't know if this is a spoiler for the Hellfire Gala, but usually they don't spoil that shit. So I'm anxious to see what actually happens in the story to make this something that they should be spoiling. So yeah, very excited about that. That again, that's happening in X-Men. Kitty Pryde's going to get all made up different. So, all right, now major changes to X-Force. Benjamin Percy's run on X-Force has just been fantastic. We love it here. Now the stakes are higher than ever. Daniel Acuna joins as a cover artist. Boo. That's fine. The art in these books has been great, but they've definitely have been rotating artists in and out. It would be better if they had a full-time artist for both X-Force and Wolverine. I'm sorry.
It
It
is
sucks
always
that they give
like,
people their own chance, but
yeah, it is inherently disappointing though whenever you hear that Daniel Acuna is going to be drawing less than you thought he was going to be drawing.
yeah, I would much rather him do the whole thing. So, X-Force number 43 unveils a new team leader, Colossus, in his Russian garb, on the front lines of the squad. But where he leads the team, you will never expect. It looks like Wolverine is staying on, but not the Wolverine.
Yeah, we got a Laura
expected.
tagging in, and we still see
But
Black Tom back there.
Which Laura is it?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, there's two running around. They don't really get into those details.
It's hard to tell from the image here.
Yeah, I keep forgetting what the old one calls herself
Talon.
now. Talon, that's right, Talon. That's cool. That's a cool name.
Yeah.
Stealing from Batman. But yeah, we still get Black Tom.
Oh, fuck
we
you.
still get Omega Red. It looks like we still got Domino back there, who is just to the right of Colossus's head. To me, it kind of feels like Cyclops, but I'm not really sure if that's right or not.
It's hard to tell from the image. I mean, it does. It looks like it could be. I mean, it's got the red line across the face, and Cyclops kind of has that like red smoke effect sometimes.
Yeah. It still could be Forge. I'm gonna miss Forge a whole lot if he is off this team. Even though he wasn't really on this team, he was on the main X-Men team.
Yeah.
But he just had an arc in this book. Didn't he? Wasn't he in this book a lot?
Forge is one of those characters who just kind of like just shows up wherever they need him to.
And especially with Krakoan technology now, like them, look at all these opportunity we have to fuck with Krakoan technology. We'll just make Forge the go-to guy if we need any, flower weapons or whatever.
Yeah.
Still very exciting. X-Force has been one of my faves. And then Wolverine. Just a great book by Percy. One of the best.
Ghost Rider Wolverine.
Mm-hmm. And we've talked about this on this show. Ben Percy, who's the writer of Wolverine, is also the writer on Ghost Rider right now. His first arc has been very popular. They're giving him more and doing a crossover with the two characters. That's going to happen in a 4-part epic called Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance. A demonic serial killer is murdering innocent mutants. But what is it about this deadly new villain that forces our two heroes to team up? And what buried secret does he share with Wolverine and Ghost Rider's never before seen very first meeting in the past? Love a good retcon, especially with Wolverine. That's his whole life is nothing but a retcon. You can't do anything like Wolverine in any other medium, which is why one of the reasons I'm a big fan of comics. But this looks really cool, dude. Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance Omega will be the capstone. They're going to do an Alpha and Omega, Ghost Rider 17, Wolverine number 36. So that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, dude. Damn, I like that Wolverine. Oh, dude, it's really cool. I really hope that Logan does get the Spirit of Vengeance, even if it's temporary, because the possibilities are fucking endless.
That seems like, a great way to kind of capitalize on a character who is defined by like angst and like trying to go out and like kill the people who need killing. And that's kind of what Ghost Rider also does, but in like different ways. So that is, there's a lot of great storytelling potential for that. Yeah,
there's a duality there between.
I'm really looking forward to this crossover. It should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, me too, man. And then finally, Tony Stark gets a new stealth suit. Big deal. Gary Duggan and Juan Frigeri on Invincible Iron Man number 9.
This is the way.
Yeah, no shit. This is the way.
That is a cool looking cover, I will say.
It's not bad, but man, I don't know why this is Fall of X.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, this is the only character I think we've seen who has like nothing to do with the X-Men, or at least not directly, who's getting their Fall of X tie-in.
So this is the solicit. This is where it gets meaty. With Fei Long is in control of Stark Unlimited, and he's using its resources to build Stark Sentinels, mutant hunting sentinels built on Stark technology. So Tony Stark has proposed an alliance with Emma Frost. Tony will play a key role during Fall of X, and it will be impacted in this title. So that kind of explains it a little bit, and it almost works for me. I love Emma playing off Tony. You know, if it's done right, it is done very, very well.
Yeah. Who did you say the creative team was on Iron Man there?
Oh, it's the same guy who's been writing all these fucking books, Gary Duggan, and
Wow.
Juan for Gary. Yeah, he's just
There's
writing.
something to be said for continuity of storytelling there.
Yeah, and Ben Percy, you know. So it really feels to me, I mean, you said that, but it really feels to me like Fall of X is like them not fully moving away, but definitely fully, slowly moving away from the Krakoan age and Hickman's shit. I'm sure there's still going to be more fallout, but we'll just have to wait and see, you know, how quickly everybody leaves Krakoa. But it was fun while it lasted. I had a good time anyway. I had a great time. All right, finally, MegaCon Orlando went on this week. They had a big trailer for Dawn of DC where it was pretty much more of the same, but the big announcement, Batman and Robin from Joshua Williamson and, wait for it, Simone DeMeo. So stoked for this. It's Batman getting back to his roots with a sidekick, and this sidekick don't take none of his shit. They've done it before, but Damian does it in such a better, I'm better than you way, because he honestly believes that he is better than Bruce. The worst thing about that is Bruce knows that Damian is better than him, you know, or at least has the potential to be. So after
But Damian's
playing,
also such a fuck up at the same time, though.
I mean, if you read a lot of those old books that lean into Bruce when he was younger, it's always him failing. It's always Batman fails, you know. But Damian hasn't really had a big failure.
He got Alfred killed.
He didn't do that. That
It was
wasn't
his
on him.
fault.
You're so mean. You're so mean to
It
that
was his
boy.
fault.
It was. It kind of was his fault. Anyway,
We just finished a big event where he fucks up so royally that they had to have Lazarus Planet.
he made it rain all over the planet like green slime, like Ghostbusters. Anyway, the art looks amazing. We don't know anything about this book really. But yeah, it looks great. I'm really happy that Joshua Williamson is getting a Batman book again. And look at this. The Robin Mobile. What?
It looks like an RC remote control.
I love
car.
it. I love it, dude. It's so great.
Man, this dune buggy looking ass thing.
Where the hell's he driving that in Gotham?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I
It
can
doesn't
see
seem suited to an
the
urban
next Hanna
environment.
Barbera of DC crossover.
It does kind of look Hanna-Barbera-ish. You're not
It
wrong
You know,
there.
this
looks
looks
like
more
the
like
Dune buggy
the
car.
this looks more like the Spider
buggy.
Mobile than it does the
It does look like the
Batmobile.
Spider
You know?
Mobile. No, it does. I am convinced that the only reason Bruce Wayne and Wayne Enterprises contributes money, basically funds the entire infrastructure of the train, the subway transportation in Gotham, is so that they can drive their cars through Gotham. Okay? All right. If
Got to
people had
reduce that congestion.
Yeah, if it was Atlanta, you know, they would never be able to get around. Be
I
like,
kind
"Man,
of
we can't-"
picture, like Nashville traffic, like in Batman trying to get through
Yeah,
that.
he'd never make it downtown. He'd be like, "Well, that crime's over. Where are we going next?" I actually thought about that joke reading the Unstoppable Doom Patrol today. Like, damn, there was a lot of shit going on in Gotham, and then Batman showed up like 30 minutes late. I don't know if y'all read that, but
I
we won't
did.
talk about it. It was
I know.
all right.
I know what you're talking about.
It was okay. Awesome. Let's do food news. We got a double dose and maybe one of the grossest ones ever.
Yummy.
First, democracy is back at Taco Bell. I missed out because last year they voted to bring back either the enchilito or the double-decker taco. I'm a huge fan of the double-decker taco. One of my favorite. It's just,
I love the enchilito.
yeah, the enchilito is not bad.
It's good.
But-
It's really good.
But anyway, 62% wanted to get the enchilito back, and that's what happened. So this year, two more fan favorites, the beefy, crunchy burrito and Cool Ranch Dorito Locos tacos, are going head-to-head in the brand's latest in-app voting. This started on March 30th. Taco Bell Rewards members, which you just get the app and you can be a rewards member, can vote daily. You get a vote every day.
What? A vote
Yeah.
daily?
You can vote every day for whatever one you want.
You got to drive that engagement.
So they can vote through April 12th. The victor will be announced April 13th, and then we'll get them in 2023.
I like the duality of it being Cool Ranch versus Flamin' Hot Fritos here.
It's true.
Yeah.
All right, so here it is. The beefy, crunchy burrito, seasoned beef, Fritos Flamin' Hot chili corn chips. I'm not a fan of corn chips. Anyway, reduced fat sour cream. Really? That's what you're worried about?
I mean, yeah, if you're going to Taco Bell and like hoping to be healthy, you are really deluding yourself.
So
yeah,
this is a Frito pie that you can eat in your hand.
It really is, with the nacho cheese. Yeah, nacho cheese, seasoned rice. So Cool Ranch Dorito is basically just that. It's a taco with a Cool Ranch flavored taco shell.
I am probably on Team Beefy Crunch.
Yeah.
I feel like
lady really
the beauty is in the simplicity here. You know, Cool Ranch is just a good flavor for this.
Yeah, my old lady, the amazing Amanda, is a really big fan of Cool Ranch Doritos. So we would just be canceling each other out if we did this. Because, yes, I am a Team Beefy Crunch. Even though I would never order it, I just hate Cool Ranch. I am not a fan of Cool Ranch Doritos.
I mean, I guess that's worth pointing out. It's not like I'm going to be going to order mine, even whichever one they bring out here.
Yeah. So if you want to vote, go to the app, sign up for an account, and rewards members have access to exclusive offers, y'all. Okay, take advantage of the app. Okay, take advantage. Now, we've said everything we said up to this point of the show for this. Dinosaur nerd Dave sent me this. This is a meatball made from lab-grown mammoth meat. It was unveiled at a museum in the Netherlands, okay? The company is called Val. They made a meatball. They created it using the genetic information from a long-extinct mammoth.
Plus, they filled in the holes in the DNA sequence with another
Life
African elephant.
Finds a way. I mean, that's exactly the
plot. To feed us, I guess.
That's exactly to feed us. Really? Can't they just grow like some vegetables?
I mean, just that grow some burgers or something. They just did this for the novelty of it, and I gotta say that the thing looks just gross to me. Just a meatball that big is like inherently unsavory to me.
I mean, if they had it on some pasta, a little bit of parm, shredded on top, maybe. I'd be like,
I'm kind of thinking
little gamey.
They could have made it into a mammoth meatloaf.
They could have made it into a mammoth anything. It's
they
not.
They just wanted
meat.
like something striking for the reveal here.
Yeah,
so they made it a sphere.
Actual meat. This is like this fake chicken, this lab-grown meat that is actually like no meat proteins. But it's based.
So it's an impossible mammoth.
It's impossible mammoth meat. That is literally in my notes, dude. You ruined the punchline, but you actually pulled off the joke. No one has actually tasted the mammoth meat. The founder of this company said,
"Fly me out to Norway and I'll try it."
Oh, well, I mean, holy shit. I mean,
Dave, I know you're into dinosaurs and prehistoric things, but I still find myself disappointed in you from hearing you say that.
I would never eat
this is almost like a Chappelle bit, just waiting to happen.
Dude, it is like a comedy bit, man.
But yeah, I mean, I'm curious as how it would taste.
It's all how you prepare it, man.
Yeah, but the thing is, in the past, there have been stories in the past about people having mammoth meat that's been pulled from permafrost.
They eaten that.
The last story I recall was maybe around 2011.
Well, it's not too long ago, I
No,
guess.
I mean, hey, Jonathan, thanks for hanging out. No, it is definitely fake. It is not actual meat. It is lab-grown meat where they took the genetic code from like mammoth, fossils or.
This is what CRISPR is giving us.
Yeah, this is like it's weird 3D printed meat.
We are probably we are probably closer to having an edible T-Rex meatball in the near future.
Gosh. The guy continues. I found this to be Very interesting. It doesn't mean you can't eat it, but it's a 4,000-year-old protein. We're not sure how people would react to that physically, like physiology. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
like,
not sure if 4,000 years is all that long in terms of like evolutionary time.
I mean, but
Modern man has been around that long, so yeah.
but I'm thinking like,
yeah, mammoths existed around the same time as the
People were
pyramids were
eating,
being
yeah.
built.
man,
Our
I agree.
ancestors, our hunter-gatherer ancestors, were eating mammoth.
I agree with y'all 100%. I think what he's saying is that our food, our actually quote unquote natural food, is so fucking processed now that maybe we wouldn't be able to handle this sort of shit.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Although, honestly, the
Nasty.
idea of eating mammoth is not as gross to me as like the fact that they just made it just a huge fucking wad of mammoth meat
You
there.
could have went out about it. We made some mammoth spaghetti and meatballs.
Like if they had made it like a pyramid pile of like a bunch of different meatballs, I wouldn't be that grossed out by it. But they just made it one big thing, and that I don't care for that.
Like I said, mammoth meatloaf.
Meatballs are only good if you have at least 3 meats in there. That's it.
So mammoth, let's get some T-Rex in there to get David happy, and
pterodactyl. You might as well get some.
Sure, throw in some pterodactyl on that thing.
The only reason why I said
I've actually put
T-Rex
turkey
is
in my meatballs before. It's quite good.
They've actually found soft tissue in fossils of a T-Rex.
Oh my gosh! All right, we're doing top 3. Fuck meatballs. Although I'm very hungry now. Very hungry now.
I find myself less hungry than I was before.
Fake. I was like, no shit. That's exactly what we're talking about. How fake it is. Let me see. Man, I had such a good time with the Star Wars book, Return to Jabba's Palace. Clobbering time was fun. Those are my 2 shout-outs. Let's do my number 3 and get this fucking show on the road. Dungeons & Dragons, Saturday Morning Adventures, number 1. David M. Boer, Sam Maggs with George Combadias doing the art. Man, this was just a shit ton of fucking fun. Look at that. Great art here. It doesn't really throw back to the 80s. It is modernized, but everything still looks as good as it needs to do. It took me right back to one of the best 80s cartoon shows of all time. If you don't know who this is, please email me your address. I'll drive over to your house and hit you in the head with a fucking tack hammer, because the 1980s Dungeons and Dragons animated is must-see for a lot as people.
That thing has really gotten a resurgence in popularity.
It has.
I mean, I guess that makes sense because D&D has never been as popular as it is now, but I feel like this thing had really fallen out of the zeitgeist. Like no one really talked about it. It wasn't in like the 80s cartoon pantheon, but people are really giving an outpouring of affection for this lately, you know?
Yeah, it deserves to be, dude.
Well, I have no idea. I've never seen it. But
so it has some cool modern spins. You know, the first iteration of this in the 80s, it was a little misogynistic, with the men usually taking charge and not really having any, episodes where, you know what I mean? Any women empowerment, female empowerment sort of episodes. There were, like, the mage, the biggest nerd of the bunch, was kind of treated like a joke. There's still a joke to his magical item, which is the crux of this. Everybody here gets on a ride at a carnival and is sucked into the Forgotten Realms. When they get there, a character called the Dungeon Master gives them all a weapon that is magical, and they fight Dungeons and Dragons style.
Now you teenagers don't do anything I wouldn't do.
And they're like 15 years old, hanging out. But the art is tremendous. Great. I mean, great pacing, great sequential art here, great use of all of the characters. But there is a new angle here. In the original series, in the 80s cartoon series, their goal was to find a way home. It was like Quantum fucking Leap with Dungeons and Dragons. In this, they're questioning the idea of, should they even try to get home, because there's probably not a way, and maybe we're better off here than we are in the real world. And it was very subtle, but it really pushed the story, above what I was expecting from this. So yeah, fantastic issue. I'm ready for the rest of the series. All of these Saturday Morning Adventure miniseries from IDW have been spot on perfect. I'm not sure what else they could do. My Little Pony is almost begging for one.
Oh,
But then I asked the question, isn't My Little Pony now kind of the same as it was in the 80s? I mean,
did you see the
I mean, I think one of their biggest selling books is that My Little Pony comic that they do, but that is not the like 80s Saturday cartoon, I guess is what you're saying. Yeah.
Did you see the April Fool's Day joke involving My Little Pony? They had IDW announced a My Little Pony Godzilla crossover.
oh, well, I don't know how that would work.
I know.
That's not even that funny.
Man, Godzilla would get his ass kicked by My Little Ponies.
Dude.
Fluttershy would kick his ass.
Dude, My Little Pony Star Trek crossover where there's a transporter accident. Just saying.
They did an episode
Taylor.
of Death Battle where like Starscream fought like Rainbow Dash, and Rainbow Dash like mopped the fucking floor.
Oh,
with
yeah.
him.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
I
it was
would
also
believe that.
Starscream.
True, but it was still...
Starscream shit. Let's move on. Taylor, honorable mentions. And
honorable mentions for Dark Knights of Steel number 10, for Daredevil.
I totally skipped that. Daredevil was dope.
Daredevil number 9, and Strange Academy Finals number 5. All three of these are honorable mentions for the same reason. These are all transition issues. Like there was some big bad things that happened just before, and we're moving to like a big bad thing to get into next issue. So all of these are fun issues. They're really good, but they're all setting up something much bigger to come in the next issue.
How about Daredevil ends the same way the last issue of Punisher ended?
I like
Loved
that.
It,
the only thing I would say to
it.
improve, I wish Cap was not on both squads. I wish that there was a squad going after the Punisher and there was a squad going after Daredevil, and that they were like simultaneous or whatever.
Why not use Sam? Why not use the other?
Oh man, yeah, that would have been. That's such an easy solution, man.
You don't want to ruin the Cold War event. No one's going to give a fuck about that. At least not in this context.
I mean, that's one of those things where, like, as a comic reader, you are okay with that.
You
little
ignore
bit.
it. Yeah.
What that particular little flub, but anyway.
Jonathan chimed in. Godzilla versus Transformers. Dude, that would actually be cool because
Godzilla versus like a run-of-the-mill Transformer. I think Godzilla's got that, but if he's fighting like a whole army, like the whole squad of Autobots, I think they can probably pull it off. And if he's fighting like Primus or like Unicron or something, he'd obviously lose that.
You know what I'd like to see? Megatron discovers that there's this monster living in the ocean. If you remember in the original 80s series, they actually had their ship in the ocean. So it would make sense that he would discover it, use some fucking Cybertronian technology to possess Godzilla and use him as a weapon. And then halfway through, Godzilla's like, nope. You could have some great things with...
I'd read that.
Trypticon. You could have some great fights with other, combiners. Dude, that would be dope. Jonathan, good shout out, bro.
I'd like to see what other like kaiju they pull
great
in
crossovers,
too.
Dude.
They'd have to pull in like
Transformers and Godzilla both are like very crossover friendly. They do shit with that all the time.
Boom, yeah, dude, 100. All right, Taylor, number 3.
Number 3 is It's Jeff number 1, which is just a compilation of a bunch of
cover for that.
It's just a compilation of a bunch of stuff that's already been on like Marvel Unlimited. But okay, so I got this for my nephew. So it's like a wordless comic. It's a bunch of cute little stories. This thing is fucking adorable.
That's awesome.
It's got a bunch of cute little stories. It's $6 isn't too much of an asking price because they do give you like 6 different short stories in it. Yeah. So not much I can say about it except like what's already obvious just from looking at it, but it's got great artwork from Gary Hugh, and I definitely would recommend it, especially if you have like younger readers in the household.
Well, yeah, you're gonna beat me because I'm not even gonna be able to get a cover. But yeah, I didn't read it, but yeah, I had a very busy week. But good shout out.
Gardening.
It's Jeff. Dave.
All righty.
Man, you could have a dozen honorable mentions. I'm not sure what they are.
Don't whittle that down if you do.
Yeah, whittle that shit down. It was a weird week for smaller press.
All righty. My honorable mentions: Parker Girls number 6.
Good read. Good read. Always solid.
Very interesting method of interrogating people. Stick them in a shark cage with chum. Yay.
Yeah. No, it was fun. It was very fun. Good call out.
My second honorable mention is going to be the Unstoppable Doom Patrol number 1.
I have that one somewhere. It was okay.
I did like the interaction between the Chief and Batman, where she was just dogging on the Justice League.
Yeah. It felt kind of, I don't know. It felt almost too promotional. Like Doom Patrol, big show, had a fan base. Bringing in Batman and Robin as for cameos, and then Peacemaker,
Yeah,
it
there's
felt
a lot
weird.
going on in this.
It felt weird.
There's
we get
that
into-
classic Gomer shits on something David
I
likes.
know.
And then my last honorable mention is going to be Clobbering Time #1.
Oh, very good book. I think we're going to talk about that in a minute, so we can wait on that.
So,
yeah.
All right. My number 3 pick is going to be Local Man #2.
Local Man was solid, but it was almost more of the same. The Tony Fleeks, Tim
Gomer,
Seeley.
shut up, David. Why did you like it?
I just want to give everybody the background of this book before David starts.
All right.
It's sort of like a 90s superhero team member down on his luck.
He's not down on his luck. He got kicked off the team.
Well, that's down on your luck.
That
What do you get
falls
kicked out
under
of the
the
team
umbrella. You're making it hard to be on your side here, Dave. That is a version of down on your luck.
And it's like his parents hate him. His hometown hates him. He did the most scumbaggy thing to get kicked off the team. And it really works, dude. Go ahead, Dave. It really works.
Yeah, well, the previous issue, he gets into a bar fight with a villain, a former villain of his, and the villain ends up dead. This issue, the police come to question him because apparently the villain died in the police station, and the first person that they went in and talked to is the guy that he got into a fight with last. He died on their watch. And
yeah, the best part about that is the police chief's wife is the dude's alibi.
Yeah, the police chief's wife is the dude's alibi.
Now he's like back in his hometown, where he grew up.
Now he's got this robot following him around, telling him that you're in violation of this per the agreement, violation of that per the agreement. He goes talk to the villain's mother, and she's like, "I know you didn't kill him." And then all of a sudden, she's like spouting off codes to turn off the robot.
Yeah, that's a lot deeper, though. It's almost like he's dealing with his past demons, The only problem I have with that is there's still a lot of mystery surrounding who he is as a man and who he was just prior to being kicked off that team. We know, I think, that he slept around with someone's wife, someone on the team's wife. I don't know.
I think
that's the problem I'm having with it. There's a disconnect
one
to the
member
narrative
of the team
for me.
He slept with that in the first issue. He called out her specifically.
Yeah. But they haven't leaned into that a whole lot, and I'm not sure if that's purposeful or what. But the end of this, it really feels like it's going somewhere. He seems to be by issue 2 saying, "Oh fuck it, I'm going to do my superhero shit now."
I mean, I still have powers.
Yeah. So
what's an NDA when you got powers?
Right. Oh, that's me. My number 2, Indigo Children.
Hey, that's my number 2 as well.
Man, I think we have the same 1 and 2 this week. It's Kurt Pyers and Alex G.O.D.S. I think the best way for me to review this is just to read the solicit. It's Radiant Black meets Department of Truth, action-packed sci-fi mystery epic as a journalist hunts down the extraordinarily gifted Indigo children after the mysterious disappearance 15 years prior. That's exactly what we got here.
Yeah.
And it was very fucking well done.
Yeah,
Look at the pacing here on these 3 panels or these 3 pages.
Yeah, there's a lot of like back and forth in the storytelling time wise.
Yeah.
So
it does jump around a bit.
There is a lot of jumping around.
But it's not like unwieldy, when it takes you to a place, you're like, okay. And then the next scene feeds right into the history that you just got. You know what I mean? It doesn't just jump around for no reason at all. I was very impressed by this. I am definitely on board. This is on Boom Studios, I believe.
No, this is Image.
Oh, this is Image?
This is part of the Massive universe, apparently.
Oh, really?
I believe so.
Oh, my.
What's not part of the fucking Massive universe nowadays?
I hate this book. Never mind. This is not my number 2. My number 2 is Clobbering Time #1. I changed my mind. No, this is a really, really solid book. Very good comic booking done here. it does use the trope of using a journalist to get you into the story, but they've been doing that, for 80 years.
It
That's how
wouldn't be a
Superman
trope
got
unless
his
that was
thing.
it.
So
It wouldn't be a
Tropes
trope.
exist for a reason.
that's
They're
exactly
good.
right.
They're storytelling hooks.
Yeah, exactly right.
I mean, there's a lot of just great like panel artwork in here where there's like very little dialogue going on, and there'll be like half a discussion, and it was a good, well paced out story.
Yeah.
I like the ending of it.
It's
Because
still mysterious. It's
it is
almost
still
like we're
mysterious.
exactly where we are at the end, where we were at the beginning. Only the characters know what we know now.
And we don't know who like all the other players are in this story. We just know that they're
Right.
showing up because
But we know the main player, and we know that we knew that there was something going on with these players. We knew the players before any of the characters really knew the players. And it really worked, dude. It did. It was very well done. I had a great time with that issue. For sure. So that was your number 2. Oh no, that was my number 2. Taylor.
and my number 2.
Yeah, number 2.
My number 2 is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Damn.
2, number 4.
Damn, what a mouthful. I didn't grab an image for this either. I'm sorry, I had such a busy week. I did not.
It's okay. It's okay. I have no expectations of you.
I know.
But
hey, the key to a good time is low expectations.
This is going to be another one of those instances where you're not going to have time to look for it, though, because there's not much I can say about this book that isn't just obvious, right?
Mhm.
This is big, dumb, stupid fun. On the cover, we got the turtles all morphed up. They got the Ranger X power morphers there. And then we got the Rangers they got the ooze. They are transformed into versions of their totems. Yeah.
Wild, dude.
It is. And just you see them going around like having big fights. You see the turtles are teaming up with Shredder to raid Dimension X. It's fan service of the best kind. It's just the stuff that you want to see. They are giving it to you. And the big stinger at the end is motherfucking Krang in the gut of the goddamn Megazord.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Like,
yeah, I gotta
what
go
the
back
fuck
and read
else
that.
do you want?
I gotta go back and read that. That sounds so much fun. That sounds
It is
so good.
It's a real hoot. Sometimes it's okay for a comic to just be big, dumb, stupid fun, which we'll talk more about again in a second.
Yeah. All right. Dave already revealed his number 2, so that comes to me number 1. Let's let Dave take the front. And Dave, what is your number 1? And we'll wrap with Taylor this week.
I'm gonna love it if they're not the same at this point.
The Ambassador's number 1.
That's exactly what mine is too.
Okay. Man, you made a pregnant pause there.
Book was fucking amazing. Continue,
Awesome.
Dave.
Fantastic.
Mark Millar and Frank Whiteley. Go ahead.
You can't go wrong with this team. Everything you kind of expect in here. You got this emerging superpowers, and the U.S. government wants in on it, and the person who develops it's basically like, I'm going to give it away for free to 6 people
this is
in
the
the
line.
world.
Willy Wonka
Willy
giving away
Wonka.
superpowers. Here,
Yep.
let me give you just this book is fucking weird. All right, there's a whole lot going on here. There's government experiments trying to make superhumans that go back decades. There's this mysterious city. All right, here's the superpowers going back decades.
And that is not a person. That is a chimp.
That is a chimp. There's this weird, mysterious city in the Arctic. Yeah, Irish super chimps who love Skittles, apparently.
Yeah.
A woman scorn. An ex-husband with an attitude. Yeah, very scorned.
Very scorned. Apparently,
so scorned she becomes Dr. Doom meets fucking Tony Stark, dude.
Yeah, she is. It's crazy. She's like
really deep sci-fi, right? But the overarching story here is exactly what Dave was saying. It's a corporate billionaire that develops technology to create superhumans. She's giving it away to 6 random people who will be members of a rescue squad. It's got its politics here where the president's like, she's just giving it away to nice people. And the president's like, that's terrifying. Yeah, I bet it is.
Yeah, but there's also the other scene in the smoke-filled room where there's the military guys. Like this bar scene right here, I don't understand it. This guy's already got a power? What?
Yes, there are people with powers who obviously we're just learning about, and the players in the book don't know about.
Yeah.
Right? They are sending like militia or a squad up,
My most favorite line in the book is after this panel.
yeah. Like, why you let me live? Somebody's got to
Gotta
pay my bar
bill.
tab. Yeah. So yeah, this mysterious individual, is going to be a player in there. Man, this was great. Now, I don't know how this series is going to work through the rest of the series because there is a new artist on every single book. It's really hard to beat Frank Whiteley and what he's done in here.
That is a
But
tough act to follow.
it is a tough act to follow. But Mark Millar has created a really fun premise with a lot of different moving parts, a lot of angles. There's a lot of places. He's really good at that, giving you a lot of places to look. You remember Old Man Logan? It was like, oh, here's something. Oh, here's something else. Oh, what about that? Go look at that. But I'm hoping that he's a little bit less disjointed than that book, and he can bring things together in a way that everything is working out. But man, Dave, 100% on board with you this week. This book was fucking dope. It
Amazing.
delivered.
I mean,
it delivered.
It was just one of them rare things where it was just, well done, well written, well drawn, beautiful.
I don't think I remember seeing Frank Whiteley do body horror like that since that We 3 book that came out.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's a great panel, dude. He does a lot more than just that, too. There's a lot of stuff going on there. There's a suicide in this book.
Oh, yeah.
It's not really technically a suicide, but it is. It's so weird. Such weird sci-fi. It's very, very good. All right, and Taylor's closing us out with number 1.
Clobberin' Time, number 1.
Man, what a good book.
Man, this was such a fucking joyride. Steve Scroach is the writer and the artist here, and that's really the main selling point.
Here's the one page I wanted to
take. There's the big double page splash panel. The montage. I'm not sure what the fuck you got there.
I hit the wrong button.
Whatever. But yeah, the big montage of them just duking it out. Like the demons themselves, right? Like their designs are all like
they're very
really flamboyant.
They're very reminiscent of Big Guy and Rusty Monsters.
Yeah. Well, Darrow and Scroachy, there's like a whole school. And I think that's the best word to use of artists like that, Juan Jose Rip kind of fits in that a little bit, To
some extent, yeah. This is closer to Darrow than it is to that.
Yeah,
but yeah, I can
agree.
Definitely they have that energy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's not just an art showcase, though. The story's a lot of fun. I like the way that he sets up the dynamic between Thing and Hulk. I like the whole thing where Hulk or Thing to puny. Sorry, let me get to the actual thing here.
Jabber.
Yeah, like the things like doing the plan, and then you just watch the sequence of they're watching like a video. They're watching like a Skype call of like the bad guys holding the Sorcerer Supreme hostage, and you just see the Hulk land there, come back, and Road Lips too puny to micromanage. Oh, that's not what your ma says. I love the banter between them. I love Ben's just this fucking thing now type of attitude.
It's kind of funny when the Thing is the brains of the operation.
Yes, that was a fun dynamic.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be Hulk and the Thing next issue. I think
it's Wolverine. It's Thing and Wolverine. So this is just going to be a bunch of team ups between the Thing and a bunch of other heroes, and so far they are picking the ones that like get to have like the biggest, goriest like knuckle duster fights,
And not that it's really gory, it's very cartoonish.
Well, it's cartoonish gore, but like we are looking at like monsters being torn in half, and like that one ape thing up at the top's like head is exploding from a sonic clap. So it's gory. Yeah. But it's like
Hulk is pulling the spine out of a creature.
It's pushing the limit. It's like it's the level of gore that Marvel could accept,
Yeah.
So they had to make these like grotesque monsters that they're just tearing apart here.
Yeah, right in the middle, the Thing is literally bashing in a dude's brain. Literally, it's his brain. It's not his head or his skull. His brain is outside of his body somehow, and the Thing is punching it. And he's got a half grin.
I think it's like a reference to that one creature from this island Earth, the mutant.
Oh, okay, possibly, sure.
Because it's a brain and then it's got a claw.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you say that. I think this does, the way we're talking about the quote-unquote gore, I think this does throw back to like 60s, 70s, even into the 80s, like B movies, where it was such over-the-top gore that nowadays we don't even really consider that gore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really captures that essence of those things in a way, that air.
Yeah, that's a good way of describing it. This
Yeah.
is like the sci-fi B-movie comic book, but it's
Yeah.
fucking fun.
Yeah. No, good call out. I had a great time with it.
It was a good read.
man.
It just it would have been in my top 3 if
Any other week,
Yeah.
it would have been in my top 3. Indigo Children was just a big surprise, and I had such high hopes for Ambassadors, and it really, did it. And I couldn't help but give a shout out to D&D. The Approach, the final issue of The Approach was fucking awesome this week. There were a lot of good comics this week, but that's what happens when there's a big week. It's easy to fall through the radar. So, yeah, we're done. Thanks for listening, everybody. We really appreciate it. If you like what we're doing, check out what Leroy and Eli are doing on the Comic Book Bullies. They do a show right here on these channels. But if you really want to find their links, go to outrightgeekery.com. We got links to everything that they've got going on over there. I think they both went and saw D&D. You know what? I would actually be surprised if Leroy went and watched Dungeons and Dragons. I just really would. I guess we'll find out tomorrow or tonight at midnight with everybody else. Go check out the Bullies, but also go to outrightgeeker.com. Links to everything the Bullies got going on, but also everything we got going on. Our Patreon, all the YouTubes and the TikToks and the
OnlyFans.
Yeah, I don't think we have an OnlyFans yet.
I hope we don't.
Yeah, me too. No shit. I hope
Henry,
not.
get on that.
Yeah, come on, Henry. We need an OnlyFans.
Bow, bow, bow.
Oh, Jeff, thanks, man. Thank you so much, Jeff. We really appreciate it. Man, I love it when we earn a fan. I don't know how we did it. We're really bad at this. We are. Dude, last week, Taylor wasn't even on the show. Okay?
Yeah, my internet fucked up.
Yeah, it was so funny. But anyway, yeah, go to Outright Geeky. We really appreciate it. What else? Come back tomorrow. Taylor and I are going to be talking about comic books coming out this week.
I'll be there too.
Oh, Dave will be here too.
Oh,
2 days
damn
in a
it.
row. 2 days in a row. What a great day. Might have other guests tomorrow. Not sure yet. We definitely had some last week, so maybe we'll have one. This is not a spoiler. Again, Andy, thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate it. But again, thanks everybody for hanging out. But most of all, thanks to these jokers for hanging out with this joker.
Always fun.
We are going to do it again next time.
Same geek time, same geek channel.
Yeah. Coming out. My favorite show of the week. I ain't got to do nothing. Actually,
There is less for you to fuck up.